Ray Ross, one of the owners of R&R out here in Gary, Indiana, correct?
Right.
Right. So you guys didn't start here though. You started in
East Chicago.
So tell me a little bit about the business in East Chicago and what made you guys decide to expand in here.
Okay, we started in East Chicago on 3927 Main Street. Myself and my cousin Dwayne Ransford. What happened was this is the story. This is how it goes. A buddy of mine, he owns a restaurant in Chicago, and he called me. It was 2 years ago on Thanksgiving. He said, "Man, look, I'm finna open a restaurant in your city." He said, "I'm gonna give you the opportunity to open first." But he's like, "But if I open this restaurant in your city, you're gonna be mad at me." So he was like, "Come sit down with me. We can go over a few things, and I'll tell you what you need to do to get started." So I came to my cousin Dwayne and was like, "Man, one of my buddies, he got a business opportunity for us." I said, "Let's go sit down and talk to him and see where it goes." We've been open in East Chicago for it made a year, June 14th, but it's been.
And you guys are doing big numbers in East Chicago. Like my wife and I will go, and there will be lines out the door. People waiting to get food.
When we first started out, we were doing like outrageous numbers, but as we went along, it tapered down, and now it's at a steady pace. But it's doing pretty good.
Okay, so what made you guys say you want to open up a second location here?
Well, business was doing good in East Chicago, so we seen this location and we knew that it had been closed for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And we knew this would be like a perfect spot for us to expand to. So we sat down with the mayor and we put together a plan. We sat down with the mayor, we took the plan to her and showed it to her, and she liked what she seen, and here we are today.
And you guys are doing good here. How long have you been in this spot?
We've been open for 2 weeks now.
Okay. Seems like it's been a lot longer than that.
No, just 2 weeks, but we're
the buzz was there though.
Yeah.
Because people knew you were coming.
Right.
East Chicago's a hop and skip away from Gary, Indiana.
Right.
So people were used to that R&R. And when the word got that you were coming this way, it was almost like LeBron choosing his next team. People was ready, man. So how did it feel with the reception when you guys finally opened up and 2 weeks into it, man, the support has been outrageous, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How has that felt for you guys?
I mean, it's a blessing. It's a humbling experience. We knew that this was something that not just the city of Gary needed, the region needed this.
Yeah.
And it's like.
So why do you say that? Why do you think the region needed it?
It's because it's just so much. Where can you go in Gary with your family and sit down and eat? You have to go out to Maryville or out to Chicago, but there's nowhere in Gary where you can come and experience this kind of dining. So we just knew that this is what the area needed. You know, you hear so much bad about Gary, but it's not all bad in Gary. So we just wanted to bring this breath of fresh air to the city of Gary and the whole region, for the whole region.
Salute, we respect that.
Exactly.
So you guys grew up together, correct?
Yes.
Great. So you guys grew up in the region. I'm guessing East Chicago.
East Chicago.
So when I look around, I see Pop's jersey, Equan Moore. Tell me Robinson, right? Tell me a little bit about why you decided to have our local athletes kind of promoted with their jerseys in here.
Because like I said, it's a region thing. So what we did was, this was actually Dwayne's idea. It was a bright idea. We wanted to highlight all of the athletes or people from the region that went professionally in the sport, all the teams that won state championships, and highlight it in the restaurant. So just like when you come in here eating, it's a good chance like one of your relatives might be on the wall.
Right.
It's just something for people to come in and like not just eat, but oh, let's look over here. Like the other day we had Ryan Hardy. His parents were here. He was on the state championship team with Glenn Robinson. And they walked up and seen the picture and they were like delighted.
That's cool.
They're like, we're gonna bring Ryan back.
So you made a good point. You said that the region doesn't have that many places like this, and you're absolutely right. I grew up in Gary, born and raised. I'm only 30, but there's a spot like this, they come and go, right?
Right.
They come for a little bit and then they leave. What do you think is going to be some of your staying power? Because I believe you guys are going to be here for quite some time.
Right.
You're going to be here as long as you want to be. So what do you think makes you different, or how do you think that you guys are going to be able to keep that staying power? Like, what is it? What's the magic sauce? Like, what's the juice? What y'all got?
As long as the region accepts us and I think we're gonna give you great customer service and great food. But as long as the region accepts us, I think we're gonna be here.
People ask me like, when did I start like being an entrepreneur?
Right.
I started. My story goes middle school. I would go home and record songs off the radio, and then take them to school and sell them for like $5. At the end of the day, I'll make like $50.
Right.
So doing that for a full week, that was like the eye-opening thing. I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
I heard you started when you were in kindergarten.
I mean, that's probably a little exaggerated, but realistically, probably in first, second grade, I was always doing things to make extra money. My mother was the only working parent in the household, so it was like, what can I do to kind of ease the burden with my mother? So I'm like, what can I come up with? So what I realized is, we had the arcade games growing up. I realized people would master the game, take it to the end, and then they had no use for the game. So what I thought about, I'm like, man, one person don't even got this game. So I go to the person that ain't even playing that game and say, hey, how much you want to sell it for? They were like, $5. I'm like, cool. I'll take it for $5. This game costs $40 in the store, $35. Then I go turn around and sell it to somebody else in the school for $20. They looking at it like they getting half off. Now I ain't realized that was GameStop. That's GameStop model right now.
I was just thinking
you know
that.
what I'm saying? So I always say I was GameStop before GameStop. But I didn't realize what I had. I'm just a little kid trying to make extra money. I didn't know you could have turned this into a worldwide thing, and it's something that's that's making a lot of money out there right now. So.
But that's what entrepreneurship is finding a need or niche.
That's it.
And being able to fill that gap.
Right.
Is what you did. So tell us a little bit how, after that, like what was the next step to like your entrepreneurial phase?
So my next step, I'm not sure if Ray told you, but my next step was, I said again, I'm staying in the inner city. I grew up on Guthrie Street in the early 90s, drugs.
That's East Chicago.
Yeah, drugs was real a big thing out there. So I'm like, our kids didn't have a lot of extra money in the inner city. So I started cutting hair. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the 7th grade, cutting hair, charging $3. Me and Ray used to have contests who make the most money. I used to charge $3, make $100-something in a day when I'm cutting hair from 9 in the morning to 10 at night.
And you're in 7th grade.
7th, 8th grade. Yeah.
So 9 in the morning, did you go to school?
Yeah, I mean that was on the weekends.
Oh, okay,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay.
So on the weekends I'm cutting hair all day. So that's how I made my next hustle.
Now was it ever, for me growing up in the inner city, my parents or people around me like push college? Go to college, get an education. Was that kind of the same narrative for you, or were you more so like, the entrepreneurial thing is really working for me?
Right.
What was your route?
So, whether it was college or any other form of, continued education, I knew it was something that I needed to know because I just couldn't do it with just a high school degree. So my mother graduated from college, so it was almost a given that you're going to go to college. So I went to college, went to IUN, but at the same time, at that point, I'm 20 years old and I started working in corporate America. So I'm 20 years old making $60,000 a year at Foot Locker as a general manager. So it was kind of hard to kind of stay focused on school when you think you're going to school, to make the money, but I'm making the money, already as I'm in school. So I was put on academic probation. after about 4 years. So I said, you know, I'm gonna leave before they kick me out. So I left and just continued to do my Foot Locker thing. Corporate America, moved up the corporate ladder, and I was successful at that. And then it just got to a point where I felt, you know, there's nothing else that corporate America could teach me. So at that point, I said it was time for me to do my own thing. So I left corporate America to do real estate.
Really?
I left corporate America to do real estate, did that full time, and then the market crashed about 10 years ago. So the market crashed, I lost everything. I was homeless, then lost everything.
You literally lost everything.
Everything. And
So,
then
man, so
some.
what does that do to like the psyche of somebody who's been providing for themselves for so long,
Right.
and then automatically it's gone? You know what I'm saying?
So it was tough, you know, and I always say my kids is what kept me motivated. You know, after a day's work, I'm not making no money, I'm just in my office. You know, as an entrepreneur, you know, I'm just in my office, you know, and I go home and my kids happy to see me, so that kept me going, that kept my motivation.
How many kids you got?
I had, at the time, I had 2 girls. So they kept me motivated, and then I, you know, kind of, as the saying goes, I had to reinvent myself. So I started in the cell phone industry,
Right.
opened my first cell phone stores, and actually I used that to propel me to where I'm at today. I opened up, I own 20 Boost Mobile stores across the country.
Wow.
And I kind of used that, you know, that income to, you know, go back into the real estate market. You know, Ray came to me like, man, I got an idea with this restaurant.
Yeah. So I wanna let's pause there, right? So real estate market crashes. You said a word that kind of stuck with me. You had to reinvent yourself.
Right.
Because obviously that form of the hustle or that entrepreneurial vein wasn't going to work with the real estate. So how did you figure Boost Mobile, right? Like what? For me, I wouldn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to open up a Boost Mobile store. Like, how did that happen?
Okay. It's a funny story. So I'm sitting in my office one day, literally shaking my head like, God, what I'm going to do? So my office is right across the street from, it was a convenience store. And in that convenience store, they sold, you know, back then it was prepaid minutes. So you'll go and say, I need 50 minutes and pay whatever, X amount of dollars. So I looked, you know, God took my head to that sign, and I looked at the sign, called the company, see what it took to get started. You know, it started from that point, and I just continued to grow and grow from there. So it literally was a sign from God.
Good. Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
Now you own 20 stores across the nation.
Across the nation. I got them in Muncie, Indiana. I got stores in Rhode Island.
It's impressive. So now we doing cell phones, right? So now R&R. The conversation starts about that. So your boy told me a little bit about that, how that cracked open for you, but kind of dive into that some more.
So he came to me, he was like, man, you gotta taste this food, man. It's this place in Chicago, they looking to franchise, you gotta taste this food. And he like, man, it's amazing. So I went, I taste this food, I'm like, there's nothing like that around here. So we franchised with the company, and then at that point we opened right across from my main office, which is my main office in East Chicago, which is my Boost Mobile store, and we opened up there, and social media it was a social media frenzy. I mean, it just went crazy, bananas. Everybody was on social media sharing and posting food, talking about us.
So what year was this?
This is last year.
Last
June, July.
Cool. So that was the R&R in East Chicago.
R&R in East Chicago.
And I know you guys are doing good business. My wife and I were there a couple times.
Right.
It was thick.
Yeah.
She went in there, dog. She came out 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to cook the food? She's
Right.
like, it was a line.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
people were going.
Yeah, it was so busy. It was, you know, people was just, you know, driving past like, man, I can't even go in there. The line is just too long. So it was very, you know, short after that, we realized we had to expand.
Okay. So what made you say we're going to expand to Gary?
Okay.
Because East Chicago's a hop and a skip away from Gary.
Right,
anyway.
exactly.
So what about this location, this specific area? Like, what made you target
Right.
this place?
So it was a location in East Chicago that we were looking at, but you know, just working with the company, we couldn't really get the deal solidify, get it done. So we just, you know, a lot of people in Gary. Someone said, hey, why don't you look at the old Bennigan's? You know, it's a big building. It's already was a restaurant. So we said, okay, you know, we're entertained that. We went, we looked at it, and we like, man, it's a long way before you get into, you know, operational state. But you know.
So what was the state? I remember I came to Bennigan's a couple times.
Okay.
But what was it when you guys got in here? That's been 10, 9 years. How was the state aesthetically? How did it look?
I mean, it was. It just looked like nobody, you know, showed any love or didn't have anything going on for the last 10 years. It wasn't in, you know, terrible disarray, but it was just, you know, in overall bad shape. Just looked unoccupied.
It looks good, man.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna show some of the footage, but looking around, man, jerseys on the wall, flat screen. Like I was telling the boy in the other part of the interview, he said actually we don't have a whole lot of places like this in the region, especially in Gary. If I want to take my family to a nice, family-friendly restaurant or spot, and still cause me a little drink or something, you got to go outside of the skirts of this region, man. So you guys are really filling the need, which is something that you were doing when you were in school. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now, how has the reception been? How you guys feel just with the overall support?
I mean, Gary has just pretty much laid down the red carpet for us. I mean, with the mayor, the council, and everyone else has just been extremely supportive. And they just been talking about how much Gary needed something like this. And, you know, just touching back on your original question, what made us come to Gary? We had a huge Gary following. Probably, you know, 60% of the people of our customer base in East Chicago was from Gary. So we felt, you know, why no other better place? It just made perfect sense, right? Yeah.
So what's next? I mean, and I always say this with the belief that we may not be able to give you a solid answer, but somewhere in your mind, always an entrepreneur is thinking about the next one. You know what I'm saying? So R&R, the next year or so, the Gary location is jumping, packed, doing as well as the East Chicago location, you know. Maybe the East Chicago, Gary location are competing with each other. But what's going to be next for you guys?
Right. So first and foremost, you know, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We want to make sure that we get this to where, you know, it's flawless. You know, customers, we're exceeding our customers' expectations. Each customer, one customer at a time. And once we get to that point and we kind of master that level, then our next thing is the possibility of franchise. So that's something me and Ray we've discussed, and we discussed the possibility of exploring that option. So, you know, like you say, as an entrepreneur, you're always looking down, and we discussed the possibility of franchise.
That's dope, man. I know for me, it's hard for me to really enjoy the current moments of life, of career. Because dude, I'd be thinking like, this is good, but
what's next?
You know what I'm saying? I gotta work on that.
A lot of people always tell me, you know, take time to smell the roses.
Yeah.
And,
so you're the same way?
Yeah, I'm the same way. You know, I remember one day we was here doing some work here, and I had to leave here and go to my grand opening to my Boost Mobile store on 61st and Broadway. So it was like, you know, just, you know, but definitely I enjoy the moment. But just, you know, one thing that me and Ray get out of this is just providing opportunities for those who otherwise wouldn't have that opportunity.
And that's, man, I love black ownership, like black entrepreneurship, because we're able to help all.
Right.
So as I look around, man, I see young people who may not, who needed this opportunity, who are employed, not just here, but at the other spots, you know, you're providing those opportunities for people. I'm sure that helps you speak with it.
That's the best part. I mean, you know, I definitely don't do, and Ray don't do, you know, for the money, for the monetary reasons, but it's just being able to provide and give the opportunities for those in our community that otherwise wouldn't have that opportunity. So,
has there ever been some challenges in building, I want to say an empire, but building multi-businesses? Have you come across any times or days where it was a challenge to kind of even motivate yourself to keep going? Like you spoke about how when the market crashed, right? Other than that, man, what are some other things?
I mean, it's pretty much, you know, an ongoing thing. I mean, we're faced with different challenges every day, and you know, but you know, I kind of look at it the illustration of the butterfly. You know, you can't cheat the process of the butterfly. The butterfly got to start off as the cocoon and got to struggle and build its wings before it can become the butterfly and fly. You know, everybody admire the butterfly, but don't nobody understand what it takes to get to the butterfly. The process, you know, so it's just a matter of just knowing that struggle is all part of it. So without struggle, there's absolutely no success.
Me and Jeremy were talking the other day, man. The process is my favorite thing, right?
Absolutely.
Because you cannot get to success without going through the process.
Right.
This is just me. I honestly enjoy the climb more than actually getting to the peak.
Oh,
I enjoy
question.
the process. Like,
right.
if you don't really enjoy the process, you're not deserving getting any type of success you're going for.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
I enjoy the struggle. I enjoy.
So, and everybody, all of my employees, they say that the ones that's been with me for 10, 15 years, they always say that they was like, you like the struggle, and it's like, you know, and that might be the case, but I mean, I love challenges.
Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
I think true entrepreneurs love the challenges.
Right.
I like it more, and this is gonna sound so crazy. I like it more than my back is against the wall, rather than my back being positioned in another way. I like having to prove something or needing to fight my way out rather than already coming out on top.
Yeah. That's the easy part. Anybody can, you know, it's what happens when you face with those hurdles and you face with those, those troubles, and how do you get past that? That's what, you know, makes it that much more enjoyable at the end. But like you say, it's the process. Because once you go through the process, it's like, what's next?
What's next?
As an
now we need
entrepreneur,
another process. Like,
right? Yeah.
Now I need something else to
I
come.
need another challenge. I
feel you.
yeah.
I feel you, man.
Man, how we grew up right there on Guthrie Street, all three of us. And we see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is success, and like you said, helping everybody out. And they started off with me because they didn't have to bring me, you know? So, I mean, we try to develop opportunities for everybody. We want everybody to win. We want everybody to have a piece of that pie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats, man.
Literally.
And honestly, man, with Wayne and Dwayne, and then myself now included, we allow people to eat first. You know, we're not greedy men. You know, you guys eat, and then ours will come. And we know ours will come.
That's legacy, though. You
That's what we're trying to
you don't
prove.
have to eat right now. You know, I want everybody else to eat. The fact that you eat because of the food I provided, that's payment enough.
Absolutely.
That's just the way I think of it. So, what's next? I asked the other guys this thing, so I'm asking you. They gave me some good answers, man, but where do you see yourself? Where do you see R&R, like in the next year, 2 years?
Well, Dwayne and Ray both was helping me doing other endeavors. Like I have other things that I want to accomplish, but of course they're my partners for life, so they'll be a part of that. But what's next is to get this really, really up and going, and then we can venture off. Because it's no secret that we want multiple stores. We have one in East Chicago, and then when we had the opportunity to come to Gary, we jumped right on it. So Indianapolis, Chicago, you know, look out. You know, absolutely. We want this to be a nice franchise.
Support, all right, R&R, come check them out. I just had a turkey burger and it was on point. I
love the turkey burger.
I love turkey burgers. I was saying last night, man, the wings, I don't even like them.
No?
My wife let me taste one of her wings. I ordered my own. So.
What flavor?
It was a
honey lemon pepper.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, you know that's Ray's
Is
recipe.
it?
That's Ray's recipe. You
Them wings are so fine.
About 60% is Ray's recipe.
Really?
Dude don't look like he can cook it. No, he's a good chef. He's a good chef.
The food here is exquisite, man. It's dope. It's a dope spot. Good energy, good vibes. Bring your kids if you want to bring a date, you know, whatever. Make a date night for you.
We just had Thursday night. We had $2 margaritas.
Really?
$2 margaritas, half off a piece. And you will be surprised how many people was actually on the date here. And that made us feel good. You know, like you said, I can bring my wife and kids here, or I can just bring a date, or just come with my partner.
Just fill with your partner.
That's it, yeah.
Come through real quick, 30 minutes, man.
That's it. That's it.
I think you, man. I don't represent Gary, but I think that Gary would agree if I said we needed y'all here, we're glad you're here, and we're gonna support them.
And not only that, we needed to be in gear. You know, I was born right here in Methodist Hospital.
Really?
Yeah. I went to Towson for a year, went to Westside High School here. Graduated out of Central, but I went here for a year and a half.
good.
Yeah, so
I graduated
we definitely
orange
have
and blue,
time.
so you know.
There you go.
You're a Cougar once, you're a Cougar for life. Man.
There you go, man. I played for Coach Brown.
Okay,
I sure
okay.
did.
Cool, man.
And like I said, man, East Chicago and Gary, we're the same. We're the same, man. We're the same. So you know, it was a blessing to be able to come here. It really was.
We're glad to have y'all, man. Check out, support R&R, man. Thanks, man.
Man, thank you.
Appreciate you.
No, appreciate y'all.
It's good.
Hero.